welcome to the Lower School Lowdown podcast. This is episode 3, and today we have Alex Bragg, our lower school principal. I'm so excited that she's joining us, and I called this session Coffee with the Principal, and I said, assuming you drink coffee. Do you drink coffee?
I survive on coffee. Absolutely. I should have brought it. I have water, but we'll pretend.
Okay,
we'll pretend.
there we go. So, and it is the afternoon, so I think if we were drinking coffee right now, it might end up being a problem for our sleep later on. So let's start with just telling me a little bit about yourself, family, favorite things.
So I am originally from Huntsville, Alabama. I sometimes try to not have the Southern accent, but I do. Like everyone usually is like, where are you from? And if you're not familiar with Huntsville, I tell people it is where NASA is. Like the Redstone Arsenal and NASA, like literal rocket scientists live and work in Huntsville.
That's so cool.
I went to Auburn, and then I moved here after undergrad from Auburn in 2010.
Okay.
So I've been here long enough to feel like this is home.
Okay.
I met my husband Patrick at Auburn. We actually, funny story, weird story, cool story. We met on move-in day freshman year. We lived in a co-ed dorm, and I met him on the elevator. But
that is funny. That's like the stuff in movies.
I
right?
know, right?
So cool.
But he had a high school girlfriend. I had a boyfriend from high school, and so we just became really good friends. And then we didn't actually really date until we graduated. So kind of interesting.
Aww.
And we have 2 boys, an almost 7-year-old and a 3-year-old. And so life is very full. That's a little bit about my family. Favorite things?
Yes, favorite things.
So most people that know me well know that I'm a Disney nerd. My family, I've not quite got Patrick on board with this. We are those people that go to Disney World like multiple times a year.
Okay.
So now I'm trying to take my kids multiple times a year, but who has time for that and money, right?
Right.
So I'm a Disney nerd. I'm also a big Auburn fan, just sports fan in general. My friends call me the Queen of Sparkles because I like fashion and bright colors and sparkly things. And I like to read. I'm kind of like a school nerd.
Okay.
So,
okay. Now, when you read, do you read like mostly nonfiction, fiction? What are you into?
Both.
Okay.
But I'm trying to stop doom scrolling at nighttime, like when I'm laying in bed. And so I'm trying to get back into reading just stuff for fun, like beach read type things. But my typical go-to is I'm a history person. I like to read biographies or leadership stuff. But I'm trying to read a little more for fun.
Enjoyment.
Things that I don't have to pay so much attention to.
Right. So, which you're in a doctoral program too.
Yes.
So that's incredibly hard to find time for.
Yes. I guess that is something about me that's kind of important right now. Yeah, I'm working on my doctorate in curriculum and instruction through University of Virginia. I feel like I'll never get out.
I understand this feeling.
I know you know that feeling. I think I have 2.5 years left, maybe 3. The plan was to be done in under 4, and then, who has time for that? So like last year I took 1 class a semester because that's all I could manage. But yeah, I do a lot of reading for that too. So not a ton of reading for pleasure these days, but I try.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my next question would be, what do you love about being a principal?
Oh, that's a good question. A little bit of everything, honestly. I love that I get to see the joy on the kids' faces every day coming into school and feel like, we're doing this. Like we're the reason that they want to be here. Cool. I also just enjoy my team, all of you guys. I feel like I tell people all the time, the lower school team is magical, just in the sense that we collaborate, we bounce ideas off of each other, we challenge each other. So I enjoy that. I don't know. I never really thought about what I love about it other than I'll say I was an assistant principal. It's been 11 years now, and I hated it.
Okay.
And when I left to come to Woodward, I went back to working on curriculum and instruction, and I just kind of was like, I never want to be a principal because I hated being an assistant principal. But what I realized was that I am most fulfilled when I get to be with the teachers and the kids. And when I was an assistant principal, that role at that school was very operational. So I was making schedules and doing discipline, and I just learned that that's not what fills my cup. And so last year I kind of realized, not that I would call it fun, we had a wild year. Like I did have a sense of, wow, I do feel like this is my purpose. I'm getting to inspire hopefully y'all and nurture y'all, and I want all of you to be leaders, whether that's leaders in the classroom or beyond, but also I'm getting to work with the kids too. It's a perfect blend.
Right. You get to see all the different layers of everything that happens in the school.
Yeah.
Okay.
For better or worse, right?
Yes, especially last year. I feel like I felt so bad last year. I was like, oh, we put you through the ringer.
I'm not going to lie. There were some days last year where I'm like, I want to call the upper school and see if I can get back. Like, what have I done?
Can we just backtrack?
Yeah, but we survived.
We survived, and we're here. And it's a new year. So
that's right, and
we're
excited.
Yeah. Yes. So, speaking of this school year, what are you the most excited about?
I'm just excited that it's not new. It's not new for me anymore. I feel like I can breathe, and I'm not, hopefully, every day having to say, what is this? What is that? So I'm excited for that. I also am just excited in general. I think Woodward, we're entering an exciting time with the strategic plan launching, and there's a lot of opportunity that comes with that. And so I'm just excited. I feel refreshed. Yes, last year was really hard. And of course, when it's your first year, it's going to be hard. But there were also other challenges that made it hard. But I'm just looking forward to being able to have more systems and structures in place this year so that I can get into more classrooms and do the things I love, which is work with y'all, work with the kids, but also not feel like every day I'm drinking from the fire hose. And that's how it felt last year on so many levels, but mostly just because I was new. I have to learn all the things. This is how we do fire drills. This is, how we teach this in 4th grade. This year, I now feel like I can actually breathe a little and get into rooms and actually start doing some of the things that I love. Whereas last year, honestly, I was just trying to survive day to day. Survive in advance. That was the goal.
Right. Well, and you get to put systems into place that are your systems, things that you're excited about, that you're looking forward to, instead of just absorbing everything that was already here.
Right.
That's exciting. I think that just listening to the strategic plan outline this morning, I was like, okay, this gives me a little bit more energy.
Right.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this. I feel like there's a vision. I loved that, the North Star with our students, and looking to that, because sometimes you just feel like you're out in the ocean on a boat going some direction, and now it does feel like we're headed in a direction together.
Yeah, and like this morning I loved the North Star, but I also loved Dr. Freer, like, here's the vision, here are the pillars. We had heard of the pillars, but then there was a slide of these are the things that we are all doing. This is how we're going to get there. Like yesterday when I talked to the faculty about this is where we're going in the lower school, but also academy-wide we're aligning.
Yes.
So I'm excited. I'm energized for the year.
It feels very intentional, which is good. And
it is good.
I think it gives people comfort and peace, which I love.
Same.
So what is one thing that you hope every lower school student experiences this year?
Oh, I can only pick one thing.
Well, you could choose more than one if you wanted to. I guess it's hard too because we have so many different grade levels.
Yeah, I say this a lot to parents. The lower school is such a wonderful place in the sense that they're not babies anymore. And I know y'all teachers have heard me say this. They're not babies anymore. They're not middle school either. It's this beautiful in-between where they still think we're cool. They still want hugs, but they're also finding themselves and starting to figure out what they're interested in and passionate about. And so I think for this year, of course, my number one thing is I always want every child to feel excited to come into this place every day. And that means that they feel they belong, that they're cared for, all the things. But also, I think for me, I want to make sure that every child feels that there is something for them in this space, because there is. And so just that intentional work on our part of not only building relationships, but helping nurture their passion so that they do, you're interested in gaming. Well, there's E-Team at lunch,
Right.
You love to read. Well, there's Read for Recess. You're really into art. Well, there's an art club at lunch, or you can stay after school and do this. I want every student to feel as though they can be who they are, but that there is something that they can excel in the lower school that doesn't necessarily have to be math or English. And it's great if it is, but they also can be a great musician, and that's just as amazing.
Right. There's so many different avenues. I feel like the doors just start opening up for them, and it's very cool to see. I agree. It's the kind of golden age where all these doors and possibilities start opening for them, and they're old enough to really get into it and get excited
and change
about
their minds, right? Like I think about, we have some students last year that decided this year to, instead of doing orchestra, they're doing band. Right. Or instead of doing band, they're doing choir because they want to just try a different form of music. That is just something when I talk to other families and prospective families about Woodward, that is something that you just don't get in other schools. That not only do we encourage them to try and explore different things, but they want to. And they're not afraid to say, this wasn't for me. I'm going to do this.
Yeah. So, I think that we really encourage that mindset of, it's okay for me to pick up something completely different and try it for the first time and potentially not enjoy it and want to try something different after. So what do you hope teachers feel when they walk into school each morning?
So again, it's just the same with the kids. I want you to want to come here every morning, right? If you wake up and you don't want to come here, then that's on me. Then there's something wrong. But I also want teachers to feel supported. I want them to feel not only that we and I care for them as a person, but that as a professional, I care for them. And it goes a little bit with what I talked about yesterday with the faculty around just giving feedback. And feedback is not bad. And clear is kind. Because I care about you and love you, I'm going to push you and challenge you to be better, just like you should push me and challenge me to be better. So I hope that this year, especially with how hard last year was, especially the end of the year, that teachers have a new energy, they're feeling excited, but also that they know they're walking into a place where they are loved, where me and my team, we believe in them. There's a reason they're here. They feel that this is their purpose. Like, that is my hope for everybody, that they truly feel every day like, wow, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
I think that that's wonderful. That's what everybody's looking for, is that place where it feels like home. And that's something that you hear a lot at Woodward, and that feeling of, it feels like a second home. And so it's something that when you think about what does a second home mean to me, it means something that I'm excited to go there, but it's also this place of peace and a place where I am being challenged and I am growing and I am learning as well. Like, you continue to learn and grow.
Well, and you think about how much of your day you spend at your workplace, right?
Right.
So if you don't want to go there, that's a problem, and that impacts your quality of life and how you should show up at home. But also, especially in education, right? If you aren't fulfilled, you can't be the best teacher you can be. Like, it's just all connected.
Okay, so is there a theme or a mindset you'd love our community to embrace this year?
The obvious is that our school theme in the lower school is we're continuing the theme from last year, rooted in accountability, growing in excellence. But the phrase that I used a lot yesterday and that I keep kind of using to myself is raising the bar, which is not necessarily aligned with the tree theme. But just, we planted the roots. We already had strong roots. We added some new roots, some new structure systems. And now we are nourishing and pouring into those roots this year, because the excellence tree, as I call it, can't sustain if we don't prune and hone in on the roots and make sure we're pouring into those. So this year, I think a lot about it's setting higher expectations for ourselves, because we should and we will get there, but raising that bar a little bit, really honing in on what makes Woodward unique. Why do we want our neighbors to come here? And making sure that all of our families every day are experiencing that, what we're saying that they're experiencing here.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to move into a lightning round.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, so yes, you're going to have to just first answer if it comes to your mind.
Okay.
Okay. So the first one, this one's easy because we already talked about this. Coffee or tea?
Oh, coffee for sure.
Okay. Are you multiple coffees a day person?
Yes. I wish I wasn't. Although I've started doing decaf the second and third time, so that's better, I think.
Yes.
That's what the doctor says, I guess, right? Like, limit your caffeine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess. We'll
go with that.
Yeah. We'll go with it. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Morning person or night owl?
So this is hard. I am not a morning person in the sense that I'm not pleasant to be around for the first hour, but I am the most productive in the morning. So I do get up at 4 a.m. when no one in the house is up, and that's my time, but I also hate it.
Yes. Okay. So
I guess I'm a morning person.
It's hilarious that you say that, because I am the same way. Yeah. I don't function well in the morning. I need a good solid hour.
Like, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
But also, I just get so much done and my brain is fresh.
Exactly.
But I'm just not nice.
Yes. So I'm the exact same way. And my roommate and I in college, we had a rule that we wouldn't speak to each other for the first hour in the morning because we were like, we're not going to say nice things. Yeah. So we might as well just agree and not talk. And then we were fine the rest of the day. We were great roommates. It was perfect. And my husband, Patrick, and I, like, it was fine until we had kids, because he just knew, like, I'm not telling her good morning.
whatever.
Right.
Now that I have kids, that's also part of why I need to get up before everyone else, because I need to mentally get in the zone so that I'm not waking them up like, get up.
Right. You're like, how can I come into your room and be pleasant?
I guess I'm a morning person, but not really.
Not by choice.
Not by choice, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, what is your favorite children's book?
Ooh, so I'm going to go with, and I don't know if people listening to this are going to know this book. I hope you do. When I was young, like in first grade, second grade, I loved Miss Nelson is Missing.
Oh, yes.
You know this book? Okay.
Yes.
And so a couple years ago, my mom she saved some of my childhood books and brought them to me. And so my oldest son, now he's learning to read, but he's reading these books that I had as a kid, and he pulled this book out, and I'm like, oh, Miss Nelson is Missing.
Yes.
So I'm going to go with that. And if you haven't read it, you need to read it. I'm not going to give away, but there's a sequel to.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a sequel.
Yes, there's Miss Nelson is Missing, and then there's another one where the football coach they're not winning, so the principal sends him away, and Viola Swamp comes in. There's a plot twist.
Okay. I'm excited about
check it
that.
out. I need to see if we have it in our library.
I know we have Miss Nelson is Missing
Okay.
because last year we did an April Fool's.
Oh, that's right. Y'all, who dressed up as?
So
Somebody dressed up as her.
I know.
Was it Laura?
That Laura was Viola Swamp.
Yes.
Laura
Okay.
was Viola Swamp.
I loved that y'all did that. I hope y'all do that again this year. That was so fun.
It was fun. So
maybe I'll do it with you.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, it would be so fun.
Yeah.
What is one word you would use to describe Woodward?
Community. I know that's cheesy. I mean, that's a word that we say a lot around here, but that's how it feels. I mean, I've been here 9 years. This is the longest I've ever been in a school. It feels like my community that's not my family at home, like that home away from home.
Yeah.
And that's what's so crazy about it to me when I tell people about Woodward is we're a big school, but that's what comes to mind. I still can walk in the middle school and feel like I belong.
Right.
Even though it's across the street.
Right. And you can know a lot of different people in a lot of different spaces.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
You only asked for one word. I'll throw in another one. It's technically 2 words. But Dr. Merrill and the principals were talking the other day, and he said something that really, I hadn't thought about it in this way. And he said, to him, Woodward is the real world. And he started talking, and I just hadn't thought about this. Like, we have kindergartners that ride MARTA to come to school here. We have students getting on the bus you have to be very independent to do things like that. Traffic. You're sitting in traffic. That's the real world. But also, as you get older at Woodward, right, you can play football and be in the play, and you're learning time management. So this is a big campus. This, in some ways, is like a mini college. So you're learning that aspect. And so to me, there's diversity, not just race and ethnicity, but there's diversity of mind, body, spirit, all the things. And that's the real world. So I kind of throw that in there too. I thought when he said that, yes, that's a great point.
Yeah, that's interesting you say that because I went to a very small private university for college after Woodward, and leaving Woodward and having all these friends that did all these different things and that were so interested in sports and arts and athletics. And I had people that were in the band, and I didn't play an instrument. And then I went to college. I felt like my world got smaller when I went to college, which is really strange.
Yeah.
It definitely feels like it should be the opposite. And that's why for my master's program, I went somewhere really big so that I would be like, okay, I need to widen my my lens. But it was really strange experience for me to feel like my circle got a lot smaller.
Yeah.
And I think it's you're right, because it's the real world. I was so used to being exposed to so many different things.
No, we were all together on Monday. He said that. And I've thought about it every day this week. I need to come up with a better word for real world, because I feel like that's...
It just reminds you of MTV.
Yes. Sorry, Mom. I know you still sneak that in my room. I wasn't allowed to watch the real world, but I did. But I feel like I just feel like it's so overdone. People say real world learning, but when he said that, it made a lot of sense. And I feel like a lot of how I try to describe the magic of this place is really boiling down to that. Right. They're learning to be independent, but they also have all these opportunities, and they can do more than one thing and excel in more than one thing.
Right.
And you just don't get that everywhere.
Right. It's the wide view lens.
Yeah.
We can see everything.
Yep.
Very cool. So, best advice you've ever received?
Best advice I've ever received.
It could be even for your role now.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to say is related to my role now. And I think it's just because that's what's fresh. That's what I'm in. A former colleague of mine who, had been a division head and then a head of school and now is leading an organization. I was talking to him the summer before I started as principal, and I just kind of wanted to pick his brain about some things when we had worked together at a previous school. He had led some specific PD on something. So I called him and was like, I want to pick your brain on when you did XYZ. Did you do this or did you pull from this resource, that kind of stuff. But then we just kind of started talking casually, and I don't really remember how we got on the topic of work-life balance, but we did. And he said to me, and it really stuck with me all last year, he said, you need to remember that there's more pressure on you. And I said, what do you mean? Because I'm new? I was like, nope, because you're a female in this industry and you're a mom. So you're a working mom, but you're in a sector of society where you have a really demanding role, and there tends to not be a lot of balance. And so I'm listening to this and I'm like, yeah, so what do I do with that?
Helpful, but tell me how to solve
because
it.
I definitely worried about, is this the right time? Because at the time, my 3-year-old had just turned 2 and I was in school. And he said to me, what you need to remember is that's all great and that's okay, but you're going to drop balls. And that just stuck with me. And I'm so glad he told me. He just said, you just need to give yourself permission. You're going to drop balls. And everything is a season. You're going to have a season where you are dropping the mom ball. And you're going to have a season where you're dropping the principal ball. And you feel like you're failing your people every day and you're failing your kids. You're going to have a season where you drop the friend ball, the husband, like all the balls. You can't hold all of the balls successfully. Nobody can. You're going to drop some. And so that just stuck with me because he basically said, when you're in that season and you drop one of those other balls, you acknowledge it and you move on. You don't dwell on it. And that was the best thing that could have been said to me, because there were definitely moments last year, especially as a mom, where there were seasons where I felt like, wow, like I forgot Spirit Week at school and my kid is the only one not in his pajamas. Or I forgot to send in the permission slip, and now I'm literally leaving here to go give the permission slip, and I'm such a failure. I'm the last one picking the 2-year-old up from daycare. But in those moments, I reminded myself, like, it won't be like this all year. This is a season. And he was right, because then the next week or even the next month, I would have a period of time where I felt like I was killing it at the mom game. Now, I maybe felt like as a friend I wasn't showing up, but it just allowed me to remove some of that feeling of I'm a working mom and I have to be on all the time and I can't let anything fall. Everything is going to be perfect. All the meals will be made. All the dinners will be met with that's just not attainable. And I'm carrying it into this year. I've told friends about it. Some of my mom friends who even aren't in education but are in other, jobs. Just like, we got to give ourselves grace. I don't expect my teachers to be perfect, so why do I expect myself?
We're all our own worst critics.
I don't expect my kids to be perfect, and so I can't be a perfect mom either. So that I would probably say that. And then the other thing he told me is play the long game. And I've said that a lot last year. I reminded a lot of people, including myself. We're playing the long game. This is hard right now, but we're going to play the long game. It will pay off. And so just remembering that, Rome wasn't built in a day, as they say, but it's true. Like, you can't do all the things. You can't fix all of the things or start all of the things. Sometimes you have to focus on one important thing for a year and play the long game. And it's okay that then the next year it's something else that you prioritize.
I love that. I think that's great advice.
I think what he was trying to get at is in the role of a division head, right? And, you can't predict the after school emergency and you have to stay and then you're not home for dinner. Sometimes the ball is going to break and drop and you just got to move on. Just accept it. You're not a terrible human. Tomorrow's a new day. And that's what I appreciated about that advice, because I feel like a lot of times there's just not a lot of that encouragement. It's like, nope, you got to be and do all the things.
Figure it out, right?
Figure it out, Figure out how to be in all the places at one time.
And you just can't do it.
You can't.
You're right.
You can't. You'll burn out. You can't.
Exactly. I think you're right. That's very helpful advice, because there's a lot of pressure on, especially female employees who are in the workplace trying to manage the family life balance. It's a lot. So one thing that you're looking forward to this fall?
Not school related?
Yeah, let's go not school
Well,
related.
you know what I'm going to say.
Football season. I knew you were going to say that. I know she's going to say football season for
We have a new coach.
sure. Ooh.
Hopefully we're on a streak. I think we've lost to Georgia. I don't even know how many years in a row now. It's sad. Alabama. So maybe we'll beat one of them this year.
Yeah.
I've already started shopping for my outfits because, Queen of Sparkles.
Are you going to a game?
Yeah, so we have season tickets, so we usually go to all the home games. It gets a little harder now that the kids are getting older, but we're usually there. So I will be there, even if we're losing like I have been the last several years. But yeah, I got to go with football season and just some fall air.
Oh, yes.
I'm just ready for some less humidity.
Yes.
Even if we could just get 75 degrees.
Yes, I'm totally. Fall is my jam as far as wardrobe and everything. I cannot do summer.
Sweater weather.
Sweater weather is the best. Definitely. Okay, well, that's all the questions I had for you. So thank you so much for spending time with us today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm really glad that we're able to have the Lower School Lowdown podcast this year.
I know. Thank you for leading this. This is so fun.
It's been fun. It's a lot more legit now that I have a mic and everything.
I know.
I'm like, this is cool.
I know.
So
when I walked in, I was like, oh, I thought you were just turning on your cell phone for this.
No.
I should have, fixed it.
No, but it's fun.
It's fun, yeah.
And it's supposed to be encouraging, but also I love that people can listen to it whenever. And if they don't have time, they don't have time. And that's fine.
Yeah. No, I love it. Thank you for doing this. I know it's been in the works for a while. You first talked to me about this like over a year ago.
Yes.
I'm still amazed that you have the time to do this on top of all the things you're juggling. But I'm glad that you did. And yeah, thanks for having me.